Tonight, several police officers are under investigation after cameras catch them heading not to a police call, but to breakfast. Local 10 News investigative reporter Jeff Weinsteer has the video and reaction.
5 police cars from 3 different agencies spotted southbound on I-95 approaching the Rickenbacker. Their emergency lights are on. Is there a pursuit? Were they headed to a child hurt? A fatal shooting? What crime is in progress? It's just before 8 o'clock in the morning. They get off at I-95 and head towards busy Coral Way with their emergency lights still on and motorists moving out of the way. Our source says at this intersection, one of the officers actually blocked oncoming traffic so all those officers could head south on Coral Way together with their emergency lights on. But there was no urgent call. There was no emergency. The 2 Miccosukee police officers, 2 Miami-Dade officers, and 1 City of Miami police officer ended up here at Carlo Bakery, where, caught on camera, they all had breakfast.
It was poor judgment on their part. They understand, and their supervisors will be taking care of that.
Major Nancy Perez is only speaking on behalf of the Miami-Dade police officers involved. The City of Miami says Internal Affairs is looking into the incident and won't comment any further. The Miccosukee Police Department had no comment. There are strict rules about using these overhead emergency lights. Going to breakfast isn't one of them. Major Perez claims the 5 officers were on their way to laser enforcement training in the city of Miami.
How did they wind up at the bakery?
Well, the location where they were going to conduct the training, the radar training, was in the middle of the heart of the city of Miami. So the city officer was guiding them to that location. That location was only, by what I was told, was only between a block and a half of where the bakery was that they had ended up previously. It still doesn't excuse putting the lights on.
The public views it as, you know, if they can break the law, why can't we get away with doing little things like that?
Raimundo Saccaro is a former Miami police commander. He's now director of the Miami-Dade College School of Justice, which includes a police academy where training occurs every day.
You don't use your lights, you don't use your position to gain some type of advantage.
They weren't speeding, they weren't passing cars, they weren't using the emergency lane, they didn't have their sirens on, they just had the overhead lights on, which should only be, utilized for emergency purposes.
But the emergency in this case will likely lead to disciplinary action. Jeff Weinsteer, Local 10 News.
The Miami-Dade Police Department says disciplinary action will be based on each individual